goes, I am yours and you are mine. Yeah, he is mine. Jesus is mine and only. There's no... Welcome, just come on in. This is The Kingdom's Treasures, and it's your girl Cindy Grace. I know this is not the regular way to start a video, but I mean, if you're tuned into this channel, you should know by now that this is like home. You know, you just come in, there's no formalities, there's no official stuff. You just come in. I don't own any rights to this music, but hey, it sets the mood for what I'm about to say. So welcome. Why do you serve the God that you serve? Why do you serve Allah? For Muslims, why do you serve Buddha? For Buddhists, why do you serve Krishna as an Indian? Why do you serve palm reading? For those who are palm readers, why do you serve mediums, right? I don't know what they call you guys, but as a medium, why do you serve why do you talk to the dead? Why do you make that your religion? I'm kind of interested. I want to know your mind. Leave a comment. I'm good. I'm open. I want to know why you serve the God that you serve. And the reason why I asked this question is not to startle you. Remember what I said. For those who've been following me, I get it. You know, you have a strong reason why you go after your faith or you serve the God that you serve. I get it. I understand, especially if you were born into it, or I don't know. I understand. And it's kind of difficult if you're used to a certain God or your certain religion and someone comes from nowhere to start, you know, talking to you about her own religion. Let me just put a disclaimer right now. I cannot describe a God to you. I can't even enforce my religion on you. I can't make you serve my God, because God is God by himself. Do you understand? All I can do is to testify, to say, hey, this is the man that I have served for 30 something years of my life, and I have seen what he is capable of doing. I have seen his works. I have related with him, so I know what he's capable of doing. He's real. That's all I can do, but I cannot give a God to you. Only God can reveal himself to you. And the beautiful thing about this God, the Jesus, the real G that I serve, is that he's available. He's been at your side for the number of years of your life, waiting for you to notice him. He's not far, he's near, right? So I like to just put that out there, that I'm not here to say, oh, you must be a Christian. I don't work that way. God is a perfect gentleman. He will not enforce himself on you. He gives you the liberty to choose him, right? But the first, how can you know someone? You have to give the person a chance. How do you meet friends? How do you get to know friends? A day, you know, you just say, hey, my name is Cynthia. What's your name? You know, you start the conversation by creating room, by giving room for this God to come into your life, and then you check him out. So all I'm doing on this YouTube channel is to say, hey, check my God out. Just check him out. Try him and see for yourself if he's the real deal or not, right? So that's why I just have to put that out there, so that you know that this is not just a gospel channel that is trying to, like, oh, you know, repent for the kingdom of God is near now. If you know the kind of God I serve, if you know who Jesus is, he's the coolest dude on earth. He's a friend and he's a father, right? He's so cool, right? And I ask you this question because there's so many reasons why people serve the God that they serve. So I wanted to know why. Now, out of popular demand, some people, I had to do a bit of a survey to know why people serve the God that they serve. And I came up with a couple of things. People serve the God that they serve because, let's say, they were born into it. You know, family ties. Your mom serves Krishna, and of course, you have to, because she's your mama. Right? Some people serve God out of fear or self-conviction. Now, this out of fear aspect is mostly related to sometimes Christians are serving God out of fear because they don't want to go to hell, right? There is no this. It's more like a structured way of serving God. There's a structure to their service. It's like a bow down, a fearful. Oh my God, I fear God. I fear him. He's a big bean and he can smite me any day. So I have to behave. Like kids do when Christmas comes for Santa, they say if you're a bad boy, you won't receive any gift. But if you're good, Santa will give you something. So some people have this relationship with their God, right? And some people serve the God that they serve because they want to be connected to a higher being. They don't feel whole. They feel empty. They feel there's something missing. So they want to be connected to a higher being. Some people serve God for reward, like they want to get something from him. This is also in the Christian religion. They want to get something from it. They serve God for what they can get, not really what they can give. Technically we can't give God anything. The only thing that God has required of us is to praise him, to pray to him, pretty much, and to relate with him on a daily basis. Right? God is God. He don't need nothing from us, to be honest. The God I serve, though, Jesus is his name. People serve God through influence. Maybe friends. You see a friend, you like a friend, you met a friend, and the friend tells you, hey, this is my religion. And you're like, okay, let me check out your church, or let me check out the mosques, or let me check out where your God. And then they start to serve the God of their friends. The same thing with marriage. You fall in love with someone, you love everything about her or him, and all of a sudden, you take on their God. Like you serve the God that they serve out of love. Some people are not even sure why they serve the God that they serve. They don't even understand why they serve the God that they serve. They just serve him because it's what it is. I don't know what your reasons are, but I'm asking this question because I really want to know if your service to God, like if you're serving this God because of the influences, or are you actually serving him for yourself? Because there's a difference. There's a difference when you're no longer serving Christina because your mama told you, but you're serving Christina because he's real to you and you've experienced things through him. There's a difference between I was born as a Catholic and right now I serve Jesus for me because I have experienced him as a father and as a friend, and I see that he's real. The concept of God is not far-fetched. God is deep, but he's not complicated. A lot of people that don't serve God, especially if you are tuning in and you don't believe in the existence of God, I want to ask you a question again. Just because the leaves fall down and fall, doesn't mean they don't come back in summer. Just because you go to bed at night doesn't mean you won't wake up the next day. Some people don't. But everyone who goes to bed has a hope of waking up the next day, right? So, and most of the times you do. Now, because you don't believe that God exists, that doesn't mean that he don't. Because he do. He does exist. He exists because when you see nature testifies his existence. Nature speaks for God. Nature shows him off. Nature shows the proof of his existence. Nature shows that he's not some fictitious being. He's actually powerful, and his word holds the earth together. Science shows that God exists. No one created the moon. No human being created the moon or the sun. So if we didn't take part in its creation, who did? A God did. So you see why I say the idea of God is not complicated? Your brain sometimes is not designed to understand God. It's not supposed to. Your heart is. This is where God speaks to you, not here. Your mind will challenge the concept. It's a battlefield where, God is trying to get your attention. The devil is trying to get your attention. The world is trying to get your attention. So here cannot understand the hugeness and the greatness of God or his existence, but here does. And that's why I tell people, when you want to follow God or understand God, you have to understand it with your heart. With your heart. With what you've experienced. And I want to tell you right now, who's listening, if you're serving a God and you don't feel real feelings towards this God, then I think that what you're serving isn't real. Let me explain. For me, I serve Jesus. Why? Because I've known him since I was young. My mother introduced me to him in church, but I knew him as a father and a friend at the balcony of my home. When I come home from school, I'll just go there, sit down, and I'll talk to him. He felt like a friend. I have real feelings with him. I can be upset with God. There's so many times that I have yelled at God. I have questioned him. I have challenged him. I have tested him. I have yelled at him. I have cursed at him. In fact, there are times that I don't even want to have anything to do with him because I'm so pissed off and I'm so mad. I have real emotions with him. I go through real experiences with him. That's what makes a God real. Not the God that you bow down to and then he just stands there as a calf. And all you do is to bow down and bow down. And you don't experience anything with him. Do you even know the voice of your God? Have you heard him speak? Do you know the voice of it? Do you know how his heart beats? Have you cracked jokes with him? Is he funny? Oh, because my God is. Jesus is the most funniest being on earth. Like, he's not a being, but to me he feels like a father. He's a friend. He's a friend indeed. He's a friend in need. I have tested Jesus in so many challenges that I faced in life. You have no idea. I've come near to death. So, like, I'll say 3 times in my life. And he saved me because I called upon his name. When you call upon the name of your God, those miracles happen. When you ask your God for something, do you receive it? Have you raised the dead by calling your God's name? Has the sick been cured by speaking the name of your God? Because what you don't know is that if your God is powerful, when you speak his name or ask him for things, things change. Miracles happen. Those things come to pass. It's a very practical thing. It's practical. It's not far-fetched. Has your God given you a spouse? My God has. I remember when I was single, Jesus was my boyfriend, y'all. I'm telling this guy I tell him about everything. Do you know how much you can relate with a God that he has a nickname? I call him Daddy G. When I'm upset, I'm like G. No, sorry, I call him D. When I'm upset, I'm D, like D for dad. Like, don't start D. He spanks me where needs spanking. He rebukes me. He corrects me. He consoles me when I'm crying. He provides for me. My father is a great man and God rest his soul. But I never had a relationship with my father so much because he was always working. He was out of town. But do you know who became a father to me? Jesus did. Jesus became the man I could go to and talk to about my boyfriend problems or boy problems or girl problems. Girlfriend problems. Life problems. It was Jesus who even taught me, when I started seeing my period as a kid, as a teenager. It was God who explained it to me. God told me to try out waxing. He told me to try out, massage. I was like, God, ain't no man touching my body. He's like, like, you do know that women do massages, right? So try it out. It's gonna relax you. God introduced me to massage. You're like, really? Like everybody knows it? No. I'm trying to explain to you the kind of relationship I have with him. I want you to know that with God, it's not just a religion. It's not something I go to God on Sunday, because some Christians are doing it right now. You only know God only on Sundays, and then Monday to Saturday you forget him. We forget that God is in the details. He cares about your life. He's interested in you. He wants to know where you want to shop, like where you going. Do you know God has put so many items I wanted on sale? Because he knew his daughter was going to walk into the Bay or Walmart today. And it's like, whoa, wait. Let me put this stuff on sale because I know she likes it. Do you know that my Father, do you know my God does that for me? Do you know Jesus does that for me? I talk to him about everything. He's interested in me. He wants to know what my plans are. How I want to, like, he wants to be in it. He wants to tell me what to do, how to do it, where to start. If you don't have this relationship with your God, I'm actually here to question it. I'm here to question you. What are you serving? Are you serving a real God, or are you serving an idol that is lifeless and is powerless and has nothing to offer you? Are you serving a God that just is there to take and take and take and demand and demand? A lot of you are afraid to ask questions about your religion. Some of your religion despise women. God includes everyone. Jesus includes everyone in the fold. Whether you're a woman or a man, you're important to him. Yes, there are rules, but no one is less than the other with God. In fact, he's a respecter of no persons. What he can do for a man, he can do for a woman. That's the kind of God I serve. He's a gentleman. He won't impose himself on you, but he will be beside you, watching you, making sure you don't make a mistake, making sure you don't trip, making sure you don't miss the mark, making sure you don't slip up. And even, you know the funny thing? Even when you don't even know him, he still cares for you. He's still watching over you. Even when you don't call him anything, he still cares about you. Even when you don't believe in him, he makes sure you wake up in the morning. He makes sure that you wake up in the morning, that you have food on your table, you have shelter over you. Do you think it's God that provides all that for you? You who don't believe in anything. God takes care of you even when you don't care about him. So that's the reason why I serve the God that I serve, because he's real. As a matter of fact, he's more real than most people I know. He will never leave me or forsake me. He's been there for me. So I'm gonna leave this with you. Think about it. Think about what I've just talked to you about today, because I want you to really ask yourself a really deep question. And if whatever you're serving right now does not provide a comfort place, I'm talking about the real comfort. I'm talking about reality stuff. I'm talking about a God that corrects you, loves you, talks to you, walks with you, challenges you, is open for you to test him and try him. He's not afraid. He can take on any challenge. If you don't serve that kind of God, then this is an invitation to try out my God. I don't know, people have different gods, so I call him my God because he's personal to me. Try Jesus. Just try him. Call him, invite him and say, hey, there's this crazy girl on YouTube. that talks about Jesus. She says you're the real deal. I want to check you out and see if what she's saying is really true. And every day, call upon his name. Say Jesus. Because, I mean, a name distinguishes people. Just like your name is Michelle, Paul. There's another Michelle and Paul, and you two are not the same, right? So when you call on a God, when you call on my God, call him by his name, Jesus. Because that's where you truly experience power like never before. Experience change like never before. Experience a relationship like never before. I smile because I know he's real, because I've seen him, I've tasted him, I've tried him, and I know he's true. And I want to give you the gift that I have. I don't want to have all this goodness to myself. I want you to experience what I've experienced. I want you to go through the hoops of life, holding the hand of someone who will never let you go, who will never let you down. He's a solid rock. He's a rock that you can put your feet on and you will never sink. It don't matter if the floods come, you would never sink. He's my God. So, try Jesus. And we're going to talk more about Jesus down the line. We're going to talk about why he came, who he is, what he is, who you are. We're going to talk more. But right now I just want to leave you with this. Ask yourself, why do I serve this God that I serve right now? What makes him the real deal? What makes him real? And when you find that answer, holla, leave a comment, and we'll talk about it. All right? See you on the next episode.